people doing today? Good morning, Sawyer. Good morning, Zazu. Checking in with the evening report. Far away. How you people doing? Today I woke up today and I'm checking out the internet, and then I also find out that Ubisoft is making Star Wars, and EA no longer has the Star Wars license. But like the saying goes, you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. Okay. So EA when they got the Star Wars license from Disney, they had power. You know, but like Peter Parker's grandfather told Peter Parker, with great power come great responsibility. You know, so when EA had Star Wars, they had the power, they had exclusive rights. That means nobody else could make Star Wars. And EA abused the power that they had. And they went so far deep down the rabbit hole trying to get this their loot box addiction across, to where they even challenge the European government on it. But when all that was happening, the heads at Disney was paying attention, and then the heads at Disney, they were listening to the customers, the fan base's comments. You know, I mean, EA Star Wars games, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. The only one they really screwed up on was Battlefront 2, was when they tried to insert loot box, and then the fans discovered it. Their Star Wars games are pretty good, and the level designs for their Star Wars games are really, really good, really, really good. But EA screwed up, and they lost their power. So, in a nutshell, Disney's like, okay, we gave you this game, trusting you, thinking you that, we gave you this game that's and you had it exclusively. That means nobody could make another Star Wars game. They had to go through us. But you took the game for granted and you abused the power you had. So we're gonna pull back on that power that you have with Star Wars exclusivity. So you won't have Star Wars exclusively no more. We're gonna give other developers the chance to make a Star Wars game. Okay? Because remember, there was some single-player Star Wars game that tried to came out, and then EA killed it once they got the exclusive rights. But now the tables have turned. They abused the power. They lost the exclusive rights. So now EA is like letting other developers, and this is where Ubisoft comes in. It says this: Lucasfilms Games and Ubisoft are collaborating now on a new story-driven open-world Star Wars game. It's a genre long requested by fans, and will come to life via massive entertainment. Ubisoft, critically acclaimed studios based in Malmö, Sweden. We're really excited about an opportunity to work with the team at Massive, led by David Polfield and the creative director Julian Girardi. We've spent almost a year now working to get to know them and what they want to bring to the table. Riley says, I am a huge fan of them. Personally, I think we're really excited about where they're at, where that project is going. Sorry about that. Because they have a unique vision for the story and the game they want to deliver. Of course, Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment are renowned for their expertise in developing immersive worlds and pushing the boundaries of technology with their proprietary engine, Snowdrop. We know that fans of Star Wars value the feeling of immersion, of being transported into the Star Wars galaxy and moving through richly detailed environments. It's fun to imagine what the team at Massive can do with Star Wars by bringing their innovative spirits and their commitment to quality, Riley says. So, they're bringing an open, immersive world, story driven. Okay, that's cool. Immersive, open world, story driven. So that means, because you know, the Star Wars universe is a universe to itself, it's endless. There's still villains being added and characters still being added to the Star Wars universe. It's the same thing with Star Trek. Anyway, so they're talking about story driven. So you know, Battlefront had a story. Battlefront 2 had a story. Jedi Fallen Order had a story, and so is Squadron. All those games that got a story. Now, you can make a single player based driven Star Wars game, but let's face it, Star Wars really shine when it has a multiplayer in it. So you can't avoid a multiplayer Star Wars game. Okay, you can't avoid it because if you watch the movies, you got the Force, you got the dark side, and the Force got this amount of people, and the dark side got this amount of people. In a single player game, you can't play as all of them because that means the game itself will be humongous, and that means that every character come with their own story, right? Every character come with their own story, and the amount of characters in the Star Wars universe, whether it's the Force or the dark side, is a huge number. So you have to bring a multiplayer aspect to that game that you're making with over at Ubisoft. Okay, you have to bring a multiplayer aspect to where you can play as other characters in a versus match or a co-op, and get a good experience from it. So you can't make a Star Wars game. You can try to make a Star Wars game, but it's not the same if you don't have the multiplayer aspect to it, because there's so many characters playing a part in the Star Wars universe, and multiplayer exploits brings that game to life when you can play as different characters. So single player is cool and all, but multiplayer is where the game's at. If you're gonna make a single player game, you have to bring the multiplayer aspect to it. So, and plus there's a huge Star Wars fan base, and then every Star Wars fan have a character that they like. They probably have a character on the Force that they like, and they probably have a character on the dark side that they like. So, yeah, you gotta have multiplayer in Star Wars games. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And to all those people who keep crying for a single player Star Wars games, those people are miserable, antisocial, boring, probably racist, and they hate being around other people. You know what I'm saying? They hate being around other people. You know, you got to have a multiplayer when it comes to Star Wars. You just got to. It's just the way it is. So yeah, you have to put multiplayer in Star Wars, because you have people right now. You have people right now that are playing the Battlefront games right now, and they're enjoying them. They're playing Jedi Fallen Order. They're playing Squadrons. They're playing all those games, and they are enjoying them, enjoying the multiplayer. So for Ubisoft and Massive to try to make a open world Star Wars game and there's no multiplayer, the fans will have something to say about it. Okay, you can't avoid multiplayer in video games. Okay, you cannot avoid it. You can try, but you gotta have a multiplayer aspect in video games. So the Star Wars fans will they will have something to say about that. Okay. And if you think they were mad at EA with the loot box, they will be angry if you don't have a multiplayer aspect in the game. Okay, so Ubisoft got their work cut out for them, but EA on the other hand, they had the power when they had the exclusive rights They just abused it when they put that loot box and they think they could get away with it. Then they went down the rabbit hole and they went to Europe and challenged them, the government. So the heads at Disney, they were watching and they were paying attention. So EA losing the exclusive right was a way of disciplining them, knowing that they can't they can't just do anything they want. You gotta answer for your actions. So that's what's going on with the whole situation. I mean, them them lashing out saying that they got Star Wars games to come shows you that they were really angry that Disney went the route they went by letting other developers making a game, so making a Star Wars game. So anyway, um, let's see what Ubisoft can do with their Star Wars game. Because the ones that EA made so far, they're pretty good. They're really, really good, and people are playing them. So let's see what Ubisoft brings to the table. Anyway, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box for this article. And nice talking to you people again. Still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Borg, dark side. Go. Peace.